This week, a major Supreme Court decision is expected as former President Trump looks to get the election subversion trial brought by special counsel Jack Smith delayed and, of course, ultimately dropped. Now, Trump argues, quote, without immunity from criminal prosecution, the presidency as we know it will cease to exist. Jack Smith argues this. The public interest in a prompt trial is at its zenith, whereas here, a former president is charged with conspiring to subvert the electoral process so that he could remain in office. All right, with me now is former Manhattan prosecutor Jeremy Saland. Good to see you. Good morning. Before we dig into both sides' arguments, let's first talk about what could happen with the Supreme Court. Walk us through some scenarios.
So the Supreme Court could just deny this, and then it just proceeds and goes back down. As the Circuit Court said, it would end up going back down to the District Court before Judge Chutkan. So what we have now is this emergency petition or application, and that would be 5 judges would need to say, hey, time out, pause, let's see what we're going to do going forward. And only 4 needed to hear the case. So ultimately, the Supreme Court hears it or they don't. And if they don't, it goes back down. And as we know from the Circuit Court said, if you come to us and challenge it with the entire en banc, or basically the entire panel of 11 judges, that's not going to stop this from moving forward. So it's going to go back to the district court. So that's where we are looking at now.
So, but this is high stakes because there's an impact on the timing of these trials if the Supreme Court takes it up, right, versus it being kicked back down to the appellate court.
Absolutely. I mean, you could have a quick turnaround, and we know, look at what we have with the ballot access issue, that how quickly that moved up to the Supreme Court, or it's going to go forward. So it can be quick, but quick is a relative term. If they expedite this, then we can potentially still, meaning they, the Supreme Court, if they decide to hear it, then this case can still be heard before the election. But if not, this could take months and months, and what would happen, you could bump this case out too far. So it really is an issue of timing. It's so critical if the January 6th case is going to be heard or not.
So Trump's argument is interesting, to say the least. I mean, they're basically saying that they're concerned about the rights of voters who won't be able to hear, Trump's message out on the campaign trail if he's on trial. Your thoughts on that?
That's simply not the case. I mean, certainly, I think he's already said, at least for the state case in Manhattan, the hush money case, he'll be there during the day, and at night he would go out and he would, go to wherever he needs to go to campaign. But this is not about First Amendment right of Donald Trump. This is about democracy. This is about whether or not the former president was able to do what he did that could have circumvented our entire system of law and order, and the passing of the baton, if you will. So this is so much bigger than whether or not he can campaign during the day. To say that it's, for lack of a better term, upending the presidency as we know it, he personally is doing that with his actions, period, the end. So this case has to be decided either in an expeditious manner by the Supreme Court or go back down to Judge Chutkan.
Yeah, and tell us more about what Jack Smith is arguing, because he's saying it's, this is in the public's interest for this to wrap up quickly.
Absolutely, and it's worth noting too that he is so eager to move this forward. He actually submitted his response, in a quick manner, and had previously asked the Supreme Court to hear this instead of the appellate court. But his argument is just that. Yes, there's certainly this First Amendment right. We should hear from people who are running for office, but you cannot install or potentially elect someone to sit in that position who undermine the foundation of the transfer of power and of democracy in our voting system. So he is really pushing this. This is a critical and essential piece of American governance. And that's his point in part, pardon me, if not in full. That is his point. So he's really done a great job articulating why and to really push on the Supreme Court to move this forward.
I mean, the Supreme Court is now juggling 2 politically fraught and really consequential matters, right, involving the front runner for the Republican nomination. Do you have a sense or a prediction on which way this Supreme Court might go, even just listening into the oral arguments from the Section 3 14th Amendment case, where it seems like the justices there were, leaning towards a more technical, narrow decision?
Yeah, I think that I wouldn't be surprised. I think most people would agree that Trump ultimately gets on all the ballots. That it doesn't come out the way that Colorado wants, for example. Though I would tend to think in the immunity matter that's right now or potentially before the court as they consider it, I think that the court sends it back down and says, I'm sorry, we're not going to give you this blanket immunity that you think you deserve, that you're not entitled to. So I think one goes for Trump, one doesn't go for Trump.
All right. We will check back in with you and see if you are right, Jeremy Saland. Thank you so much.
Live.